So in my quest to bring you guys additional content on the 2023 Chevy Colorado, I found another one. And not only is this one two-wheel drive, but it's also one of the cheaper work trucks you can buy. So before we begin this video, I want to give a thanks to Erickson Chevrolet in Milan, Illinois for providing the work truck seen behind me. I will have all their information linked down in the description below. So if you guys have been following along on the channel and are subscribed, you'll know that just yesterday I had hands-on with a nearly fully loaded, fully optioned Z71 truck that stickered over $48,000. Well, today behind me I have something on the other end of the spectrum. Like I mentioned, a two-wheel drive work truck with just a few option packages, the key option packages in my opinion for a work truck like this, that stickers in the low $30,000 price range. So this will be a great truck to see not only what you get in the entry-level Colorado, like I said, the work truck, the lesser equipped LTs, but also for commercial and fleet customers who might be interested in purchasing these for their fleets. So the truck in front of us is finished in the sterling gray metallic exterior with the black cloth interior, and I have to say this is one of my favorite grays out there. I've mentioned it in several of my other videos as far as the walk around videos go. It's just a great color, has a ton of metallic flake. You can see here in the sunlight. Really brightens up in the sunlight, darkens up a little bit in overcast, and is a good mix between a silver and a gray in my opinion as far as the overall tone goes. Now up front of this particular Colorado, you'll immediately notice it's nothing like the Z71 I just showcased, as it does get the more basic front end with a lot of the dark plastic materials. So you'll see the entire front fascia outside of these small corner pieces on the front bumper is going to be the dark plastic. This one does have the optional black bow ties front and rear, as well as the black badges, which we'll see in a second. So none of the technology package up front for the camera and the grille, no fog lights or anything like that. And it does have the regular halogen reflector headlights, both low and high beam, and your incandescent turn signal in the center portion right there. And one other thing you might notice here at the bottom is there's no recovery hooks for off-road or anything like that. There's no cutouts even in the front air dam portion. Not to say that the mounting locations aren't there behind this on the frame rails, but just note that this particular truck and trim does not come with the front recovery hooks. Coming to the side of the vehicle, you'll notice another big difference, and these are the 17-inch steel painted wheels. So they are a nice bright silver finish. These are wrapped in 255, 65, 17-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory HT. So a very, very mild all-terrain tire, more of a highway tire in my opinion, traditional all season, but this is again a work truck for a high mileage customer, or traditionally anyway. So that is why there's no all-terrain or mud terrain on this particular truck. You do get the black plastic mirror caps, so these are not going to be painted unless you do get the safety package. They're actually not going to be heated, nor do they have blind spot detection on this particular truck. You have the black badges here on the front door. That is a dealer installed accessory. You do have the black plastic door handles that contrast fairly well against the sterling gray metallic, but definitely gives you a different vibe versus the painted door handles found on some of the other trim levels. Coming out back, you can see all the body lines here in the sunlight. I know some people have said they may not like all the body angles and the bed sides, the doors, but I really do enjoy this next gen truck. It gives it a nice fresh look over that of the former generation, and overall really spruces it up. Out back, you will find a gloss black rear bumper with the integrated side steps, incandescent lighting with your reverse lights located on the bottom portion. You still have this air dam that I assume deflects air around the side step itself. There's your black Colorado badge. Backup camera integrated into the handle on the tailgate. Another good thing with this particular truck is it does not have the advanced trailering package, or any sort of trailering package for that matter. So you do not have the receiver here in the back. Instead, you have a little recovery point that was also found on the last generation Colorado without the trailer hitch. So this is what you're going to be getting, I assume, as far as the lack of a tow hitch if you ordered a Colorado like that. Is you will get a recovery point at least, which is a good thing, but the hitch obviously is not going to be there. But as a whole, the work truck is going to just look a little bit more on the basic side of things, but again, this has the price point to match that. So you are going to sacrifice a few of the nicer amenities on the outside to get that lower price point of vehicle. So this is not a completely basic work truck. As a matter of fact, it has both the Work Truck Convenience 1 and Convenience 2 packages, as well as the black bow ties and the black exterior emblems. for a total MSRP of $32,005. Now, I really do like the fact that this does have the Work Truck Convenience 1 for the cruise control functionality, because that is not a standard feature on the 2023 Colorados. And the Work Truck Convenience Package 2 gives you another few items that are extremely nice, such as the easy lift and lower tailgate, the StowFlex storage in that tailgate, as well as the 8-way power front seat with lumbar adjustment. So those are all things that I think are very nice on this particular Colorado as far as a work truck goes. So stepping onto the interior, we're going to see several changes over that Z71 I showed you just the other day. But starting out here on the door panel, you'll immediately see all of the contrast stitching and the soft touch materials are removed for the most part for a black plastic door panel. So hard touch uppers, hard touch back portion right here, which is all black. You do have a nice rubber, somewhat padded but very mildly padded armrest right here. Power windows, mirrors, and locks, none of them are going to be automatic, with your power door locks up top there. Same amount of storage in the lower door panel with the small cubby and bottle storage over there. Coming to the driver's seat, this does have an 8-way power seat as part of that Convenience Package 2 with 2-way power lumbar. Just the standard cloth seats with the gray accent stitching. And immediately looking at the dashboard again, you can see a lot of those contrast materials are going to be removed in favor of that of the more black plastic throughout the interior cabin. So just me looking here on the inside, I see a few bright silver accents on the steering wheel near the radio, as well as the center console with the one button right there. But as a whole, it's going to be mostly black plastic. And this is one of the reasons why the Trail Boss has received a little bit of criticism, in my opinion, because it does share most of the same interior. Now, you will notice a few very nice pieces of technology here on the inside, and that is because they are standard across every truck. So standard is the 8-inch digital gauge cluster, as well as the 11.3-inch HD color touchscreen for the infotainment system. This really helps keep the Colorado up to date as far as technology goes. Now, I've showed you guys this briefly on the Z71. You control it here on the right side of the steering wheel. Cycle through some of the menus there. Overall, very nice, very high resolution, especially for a work truck. But again, this is standard equipment. You have your tachometer with your digital speed readout, all the digital gauges as far as coolant, fuel level, all the typical stuff, as well as your safety systems and odometer here on the lower right-hand portion. This does have regular wipers. It does come standard with high beam assist as part of Chevy's safety suite, so that is a very nice touch. Gauge illumination here on the left side, and this is normally where you would find the trailer brake controller if it had that option, just below that. But you'll notice you do not have any headlight controls, and that's because they're all located in the infotainment system via this little icon up here or a dedicated page, which I'll show you guys right now. So if you scroll over to the vehicle icon, there's all your controls for the windows, doors, lights, and some of the other vehicle settings. So this is where you control not only the headlights, fog lights if the vehicle has it, but also the cargo lights and some of the other exterior lighting elements. In this truck, you will find a non-leather wrap, just standard urethane steering wheel. Because this one has the Convenience Package 1, it does have cruise control with forward collision avoidance assist. Right side have some of your multimedia, phone, as well as the gauge cluster controls. On the back side, you still do have the paddles for the volume and tune, which is nice for the infotainment. Now, one thing to note is this only is a tilt steering column. It does not telescope in this particular truck, and that is somewhat due to the trim level as well as the packaging that it has as far as the work truck trim goes. Moving over to the infotainment, I already touched on this very briefly. 11.3-inch touchscreen with Google integration. It does have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. I believe this one also has Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth, all the usual types of inputs for the latest vehicle infotainment systems. Overall, a very big upgrade over that of the former 7 and 8-inch systems found in the Colorado. And as a whole, I do like the fact that they have retained some hard touch buttons as far as the volume, power, and the climate controls just below it. Speaking of the climate controls, single zone manual climate, so no automatic in this particular truck. You do have the vents below that, engine stop, start, on, off, hazards, as well as your lane keeping assist. So it's nice that Chevy actually changed out these buttons and didn't just leave some blanks here. Like as we saw in the Z71 equipped truck, it had like 5 or 6 switches down here. See, this one only has 3, and all of the other ones are actually removed, so it is a different physical piece of trim rather than just leaving the blank buttons. You'll see the center console layout is completely changed here around the shifter, all matte black plastic, a little bit of storage here on the left side, USB-A and USB-C data inputs. Not sure exactly what this little piece is for, maybe the key fob or something. Electronic parking brake. Here's your shifter with the plus and minus manual transmission select on the left side. 2 cup holders, little slot to hold your phone or the key fob like I had it. This does not have proximity entry, but it does have the proximity key fob, as it does have push button start. So you have to manually control the lock and unlock on the key, and then you'll obviously get in and just hit the push to start. Jeep does this as well in some of their vehicles, and I'm not a big fan. I'd rather have proximity entry. 12-volt outlet here on the back of the center console, a little bit more storage space, and immediately you can see there is no armrest in this particular truck. So that is something I got in, leaned over expecting to hit the armrest, and obviously there's just not one there. Coming up top, you do have a black headliner, microphone up here, non-illuminated vanity mirrors, manual dimming rear view mirror, OnStar passenger airbag, overhead incandescent lighting, and that's pretty much it as far as the Colorado goes here in the front seat. Here in the back, you can see the materials will be the same as the front. So hard touch door panel, you have the same rubberized here on the armrest. Cloth seating surfaces, the seats do still fold up, the bottoms anyway. Step in height is going to be very good, as I showcased in the Z71. There's a look at the front dashboard. And here in the back, you won't get any amenities because there's really no center console, no USB charging, no 120-volt outlet, and obviously no AC vents. No mat pockets on either front seat either. The headliner is actually raised up quite a bit more than that of the one equipped with the sunroof. So that's something I do notice sitting in the back, as you are sitting up fairly high. So this improves your overall feel of space inside the vehicle, given that this is not as low as it was with the sunroof. I do like that aspect. Headroom is obviously going to be the same though, as this cutout is still here. I would say I have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of headroom. Legroom's fine as well. As I showcased, the seat is a little bit farther back in this particular truck. I normally would have about 1 to 2 inches of legroom. Footroom's plenty as well. It is going to be a little bit tight, I'm not gonna lie, but it is plenty fine for a mid-sized truck. And I would say it is more than adequate, again, for this size of vehicle. No center armrest either. This one does have the manual sliding window with defrost functionality due to the convenience packages that it has. And like I mentioned, the seats do fold up via that lever on the side for additional storage space. That's where your jack, roadside tools are kept. But as a whole, pretty comfortable seating surfaces. I do like the cloth material. I think it's an improvement over the last gen truck. Just no amenities here in the back seat. Coming around to the tailgate, this one does have the easy lift lower tailgate with the integrated storage. Do that convenience package too. So there it is. I've showcased it several times here on the channel. It does have an integrated drain plug, some threaded inserts, and a little rubber gasket to keep out some of the elements if you have something that needs to stay dry in there. No bed liner on this truck. Same tie downs, 2 in each corner, and no 120-volt outlet because that is not available on the work truck trim. Coming over here to the passenger front seat. Not really much to showcase. Manual 4-way seat. Look at the dashboard, you can see just all the textured surfaces. Same size glove box. And yeah, as a whole, that is going to wrap up the work truck Colorado. As you can see, much more basic than that of the Z71 I showcased the other day. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood, see what powers this particular Colorado, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Under the hood of this particular Colorado, you'll find the L2R, or the lowest output 2.7 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that is available in this next generation truck. This puts out 237 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque, either through the rear wheels only like this truck, or all 4 wheels if you option 4-wheel drive. And this is paired to the same 8-speed automatic, or the Gen 2 that everybody has been discussing. Now, if you guys haven't seen the channel, make sure to check out the first drive I did with the Z71 truck. I think it is an improvement. However, it is too early to tell how these transmissions will hold up over time in comparison to those of the past. But I would say it is at least an improvement at a minimum. And I do want to mention that if you get the L2R, or the lowest output 2.7 in the work truck or the LT trim, you cannot upgrade this to the Turbo Plus or the Turbo Max high output version. versions. These engines are mechanically different than that of the Turbo Plus and the high output 2.7, so you are stuck with this power output rating unless you opt for the Turbo Plus engine package, both on the work truck and the LT, which is an additional charge. So keep that in mind if you're ordering a work truck or an LT and want the higher output versions, is you do need to option that from the factory. So that's going to do it for this video on the 2023 Chevy Colorado work truck trim level. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and found something helpful out of it. I'm really glad I got hands-on time here with this trim because obviously this is going to be the one that is more targeted towards people who don't need all the amenities on the inside, or commercial and fleet customers to put these in rental, business type of use, stuff like that. Hence the more basic interior with all the more durable materials. Now, in saying that though, this particular truck is equipped almost exactly how I would get a two-wheel drive one. However, I would equip the limited slip differential at a minimum to just help with traction in low traction situations. This particular truck does not have that. But nonetheless, one item I do want to mention and reiterate is this does have the Convenience Package 1, which includes cruise control. This is just the basic cruise control functionality, not adaptive cruise. That is also not standard on the LT. So make sure if you're ordering Colorados that you do at a minimum equip the Convenience Package 1 to give you the cruise control functionality, because I don't think a lot of people want to go adding that feature after the fact via the aftermarket. So make sure you guys do equip that with cruise control, because that is obviously just a handy feature on road trips, highways, back roads, stuff like that. Another item that really strikes me here on the interior that is missing is the lack of a center armrest. Now, obviously some people might not care, especially if you have larger items, wear a big, vest or anything for your work or your job. This just gives you more interior room towards the middle cabin space of the vehicle. But nonetheless, I think a lot of people would rather have a center console to rest your arm on a daily basis. And I believe that is available on the work truck as a standalone option. So make sure if you do want that, that is not standard on the work truck, and make sure to check that box if you're interested in having that with the additional storage space inside. But nonetheless, I think it is a very basic truck, but once again, it comes in at a very reasonable price point in the low $30,000 range. So I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Is it a little too basic for your tastes, or would you rather step up to the LT Trail Boss Z71 for a few other reasons, such as having the LED lighting becoming available and some of the other nice safety technology features? But you can still equip the work trucks with the technology package with the 360 camera system, rear parking sensors, some of the other blind spot and other safety features. So keep that in mind, as the work truck can be more equipped than this particular unit. However, I think this one is more reasonable for a lot of people out there. So let me know all that down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. As always, subscribe if you guys are not already subscribed. And with all that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.